How you going, guys? Sunday. Right, took this door off yesterday and stripped it out late last night after I did the last little piece of video. And I've patched this corner. That's what I cut out. There was a minor little pinhole in the inside skin. There was just like a little where the rust had built up and behind, and it was just a little hole in there. Like the rest, it wasn't too bad. It was a little bit pitted, but I managed to fill that hole. And then inside there, and there was a couple of minor, very very fine pinholes in here. So I've sort of just put a wee bit of spot weld in them. It's apart from that, it seems to be reasonably solid. And I'll get inside the door in that corner and we'll clean it out the best we can, and as I said before, I'll drown it in not a oven cleaner, and rust kill, and we'll get that. We'll stop that. I probably could cut it out, but like the holes are so minor. I managed to put a little wee spot in them and I've ground it off, and it's basically nothing. So I'm hoping that the rust kill will stop that going any further. So that's the doors. The doors sorted. Apart from final bodywork. Now I got all adventurous earlier on and pulled the windscreen out. Now actually sprayed just a little bit of oven cleaner around here because it's quite a tacky sort of. Real tacky sort of gluey sort of stuff in here, like sort of a sealant. I have no idea when this window was out last. Like, I assume it's probably had a broken window at some point, somewhere in its life, but it hasn't been out of here for a long time. And there's just a fine, very fine, but wee bit of surface rust in this corner. That's all there is around the whole frigging window. I was really, really surprised. So I'm super wrapped about that. I haven't had a real good look up underneath yet, but it seems to be pretty okay. Like, we pulled the dash out. I've stripped the dash. I've actually just sprayed this in oven cleaner to clean all the grime and the gunge and everything all off it, so I can start getting this ready for prep too. Because like the paint on it's pretty bad, and it was pretty sort of like surfacey, rusty across the top, so it'll get a makeover as well. And we've done the inside as well because it was like just full of gunge and 50-60 years of just grime and dust and dirt and everything. So we'll spray this with oven cleaner, and it seems to be really good at just getting rid of everything off. And once you rinse it off, everything comes up really clean. Like, it's the same method I use with all their other suspension parts and all the bits around the front. So that's that. And I've also pulled the back window out as well. And surprisingly enough, these back corners, just flick that little light on the phone. Right. It's not even through. It's a bit of surface again. I'm really surprised. There's a little bit of surface there, but it's nothing. And even that other far corner where I thought it was through, it was bubbly paint. So I haven't had a real good look, but let's have a look in here and just get that focus. Focus phone. Not going to focus on me, but basically there's no holes. It's surface rust. So I'm super stoked. I thought I was going to have to repair. So basically it's just a good clean up and some rust kill, and then again into the final bodywork, final prep. So we're looking good. Really stoked. The rubbers I might better use again. We'll see. like I'll replace these chrome insert pieces because they're getting pretty gnarly. Like they're still soft enough. Like it's probably lucky it's been inside for a long time, like in recent years anyway. So, but yeah, we'll see how it goes when we get to the end of reassembling. Once we've got it all painted and getting back towards that direction, we might replace all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we'll have this will be a sort of a first decent look in here too. Like I haven't really had a good look with any light. How are we looking up in here? Yeah, be interesting to have a good look at all this stuff. Like there's quite a bit of scale, but it doesn't look real nasty. Like it could be a wee bit nasty there, but that's what I was saying. Like these were terrible for rotting out around through here. So I assume, well, that's factory sort of a sealer. I'm not 100% sure on that. Let's have a decent look. Feels solid up in here. Might be a little bit of something, but I don't think it's too bad. Like I think just a good clean up, and some rust kill. I might get a little rotary brush from my die grinder, and then I'm going to get in there and clean that up as best as I can. Look, even up in here, you know, like it's still a reasonable amount of paint up in there, considering they weren't really painted that well. Yeah, but it's not looking too bad at all. This is where all the window wipers and everything are situated in this thing. But no, look, it's apart from a bit of surface, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. So I'm really stoked because this is where if they are going to be awkward and ugly to fix, this is where they are bad. Yeah, look, I've repaired a couple. Like when I was in Australia, I had a later model Valiant, and yeah, I had to replace bits and pieces in around here and then sort of do the best I could. And yeah, one I was trying to fix up. But yeah, no, I'm stoked, super stoked. It's quite clean. Yeah, because I thought I was going to have rust in these. Yeah, I thought there'd be rust in the corners somewhere, because they normally do sort of rust out in these corners. But it's, you know, there's been a wee bit of water run down there at some stage, but no, a good general clean up, and she won't be too bad. You know, like it needs the rust kill in there, obviously, you know, but I think it looks worse than it is, you know, in places. It's never been protected properly. Oh, good. Rightio. We'll get back to doing some more work, and now you can see that I'm really getting into it. Really got it pulled apart now. So yeah, we can tidy all that up and start getting that all sorted, ready for paint again. And as I said last night, yeah, the sort of the final thing I want to do before I'll get right into the very final, especially the engine bays, get those headers made up and the engine mount kit for it, so I can bump my motor in properly and start setting that up. So that's probably not going to happen too shortly, but I'm hoping I think I might have some tax money coming, so that'll definitely help out in that situation, and I'll be able to get those, hopefully get those mounts and stuff and within the next month or so. I think the tax money comes due next month sometime, so I'm hoping within the next sort of 5, 6, 7 weeks we might be getting into that point, you know, bottom sit the empty spare block and the couple of set of heads and set the trans in place, and bolt the starter motor and everything back in, and so we can get into the mocking up that sort of stage. But yeah, no, it's looking alright. Very happy. Get in some of these funny corners and do the best I can to slow any of this, surface down and scale. The more we can get in there and treat that stuff for at this stage, the much better off you are down the road, If you can get in there and get it now, it's definitely the best time. So we'll get back to it, and we'll catch you later on. Righty, cheers. There you go, guys. Well, haven't done a lot so far this weekend, but well, I sort of have. I've had a real good clean up around the shed, and we're getting inside here. I'm just been cleaning up with the wire brush, just the floors and up round underneath the bottom of the plenum here, like underneath where the dash is, and all those sort of bits and pieces, trying to get the body ready for final prep. Now, what I've been under here, especially on the driver's side, and I think there's a little bit of a problem on the other side too, there's a couple of small holes up inside. I'll sort of try and show you if I can. Climb down here and have a wee look. It's real hard because unfortunately my phone's away being fixed. But up in here, where the heater vents come down through, there's some holes in this corner. Now, that's not going to be terribly easy to fix, but also there's been water over the years, possibly with that hole being there, been running down in here. And it's not real rotten, but there's holes in here too, so obviously the water's been running down through inside and down into here, and like as I said, it's not real rusty on the outside, and there's a few holes, just smaller holes in there. They're probably no bigger than a centimetre across, but I really think I'm going to have to take this front pin off to repair it properly and make sure there's no other major issues in there, which is kind of scary. I've never ever done anything like gone to this extreme, but so that's what the plan is. Yeah, so like apart from that, yeah, taking all the doors off, boot lid off, clean the car out, clean the whole shed, have a bit of a reorganise. So yeah, that's basically what I was doing. I was trying to clean up the floors, and I was going to start rust killing any like surface rust in the floors, because there was a little bit, and that's sort of when I was trying to clean up underneath the dash and bits and pieces, or where I found those holes, and sort of the more I looked, like it's not real bad, but it's one of those problems. If I don't amend it now and fix it down the road, like I could probably try and fill that with some silicone or something so the water run away and it wasn't running inside, but it's going to be running down here, making that worse. It's probably just it's sort of bad enough to be a problem, and if I do it properly, so it means I'm going to have to drill all the spot welds all the way out here, and there's a lot of them, because I've sort of just cleaned this up and got rid of the original lead out of these corners to find the joins. So I'm hoping, I'm probably not going to get it done all tonight, but I'll start drilling, and I hope by mid-morning tomorrow I'll have that panel off and we can see what's in there. Like as I said to you, these have always been notorious for rotting in there, and I didn't think it was bad. I actually didn't even think there was much in there. I thought there was just a bit of surface and a bit of scale, but when I got on there with the wire brush and it broke away, and I was like, oh shit. And then I discovered it was, there was quite a bit of rust in that bottom corner. Like it's sort of, you know, one of those points, you know, like you either got to dive right into it or try and patch it and hope for the best. And like I don't want to have to repaint this car again. Definitely not in the near future, and I'd hate that to get worse and it just piss water around and make a, you know, a nice job. Just, you know, I'll end up having to pull that off, so I may as well pull it off now and do it properly. I was going to get in and where I'd modified these back pieces to accept the brakes for the handbrake levers, since they sit on top, since everything's so short, because the brakes can't sit in their natural position. I'd put these scallops on these inner guards, like it's not actually into the chassis rail itself, but it's just an extra piece to allow clearance, to allow plenty of clearance for that handbrake lever not coming up and hitting on the inner guard, which it was just doing with a full load, you know, with people sitting in the back and everything. I tested it out years ago when I originally set the 9-inch up to fit, you know, 10-inch wide wheels at the time, which probably was a bit of a mistake, but hey, that's what the wheels I had at the time, which was off another car, and I was trying to get them in here, and I've, you know, without the diff in there and the springs in there, they were going to fit, and I wanted to put disc brakes on it, but just having everything so short, I had to put the brakes on top, which is not a big problem. But so I'm going to do some more finish welding on that, because I've never really fully finish welded it and cleaned it up, and my welding at that time wasn't great. So so now I can go back in there and clean all that up and finish weld all that, and so basically, yeah, unfortunately I'm going to have to pull that off. Hopefully it's not a major job once I get that off to repair, and I want to make sure that I get it right, so there's no water going in anywhere, and I can test that once I've got the panel off and repaired it. You know, I can pour some water in there and see if it's coming in, you know, and I'll just have to keep playing with it and get it sealed, and then stitch that back on, and hopefully, yeah, we end up with a good job. I'm probably actually going to, once I get it off, I think when I go to put it back on, I'll get some help, to be honest, just so it's right. Like I said, I hate to put it in, and, you know, but apart from that, yeah, it's a bit of a bummer, but we're still, you know, we're still on track to have it painted by Christmas time, you know, and I've got some money coming shortly. Actually, hopefully Monday, Tuesday next week, I've got a couple of $1,000 owing to me through tax, and I'm going to buy me, going to get my engine mount kit sorted, and then I was going to, well, I still will, but I want to fully mock up the motor, all meat, my spare block, put a bolter set of spare heads that I've got on them, put starter motor in, basically mock up the whole engine bay, how it's roughly going to be, so I can mount things, drill holes, anything like that I've got to do. I want to do that before I paint it, and that also, well, once the engine bay's full, all the bits and pieces that need to be in there, I can make my exhaust headers too before I get in there and paint. Like, you know, it means I can tack things and test things and try things, and I'm not worrying about scratch and paint. So that's the other plan there. And then what else? It's basically get into final prep and paint, and do a little bit of something with here. This is sort of where the boot rubber's been. It's, again, it's not bad, and yeah, it's like there's a wee joiner. It's actually just a wee panel on there it's got a bit rusty and a bit corroded. So, you know, I'll need to do something with that. But that's about all there in the back. The rest of it's pretty good, and yeah, just a general clean up and some more rust kill, and then get inside those panels, like I'll pull that hood lining way back now that I've got the windows out. I'll do that eventually too and get that all cleaned up. So we'll leave it for now, and yeah, I'll get into it, and yeah, tomorrow when I've got this panel off, we'll have a look and we'll crank the video, the video up again, and we'll do some more recording. Alrighty guys, we'll catch you later. There you go guys. I think I've pretty much drilled every spot weld that I can find at this stage. We're just starting to break it away. I've got it broken away in this corner and part over here, and I'm just going to keep moving across and along and see how we go. I've drilled spot welds here, but I haven't cut the welds yet, so I'm not sure what else is in this corner, but we'll just keep picking away and see if we can get it off. Catch you later. Alrighty, big on the wheel. Just finished breaking all the welds. It's not too bad under there. It's in here. Not as bad as we thought. Might be just small shit. It was probably a good time to clean it, get all the rust out of it. Not too bad. We can work with all that. Alrighty. There you go guys, back again. After a bit of a reveal before pulling this off. So got in there quickly with the old rotary wire brush and the grinder and one of my die grinders so I can get in these tighter spots. Gone around, give it a pretty good clean up. I've given a good coat of rust kill, especially in the meantime. So that's had a good dose underneath there. Now these vent pieces where which is meant to stop the water in but let the air in, they're quite rotten. Wow. There's quite a few holes. There's a little hole up in here on the actual bulkhead. That's, I think, pretty much the only hole actually in this main panel. I'd say it was probably close in here, but we won't poke too hard. It's still solid, so time we get a good coat of, the rust kills sort of stuck itself on, and we've repaired these. I'm going to look at the cost of replacing these, because the other one's got a few holes in it too. It's not quite as bad as that one, but it's almost. So yeah, like you can see here, there's a few holes in it. So I'm going to look into see what the cost of replacing these is, or if somebody makes them. Probably do. So that's probably where I'm going to head there. Then once I got that repaired, where I've drilled all the holes in this inner, like in the inner skin, like trying to get the outer one off, I'm going to weld these all up before I put it back on, and then clean it all up, make sure this is all stuck back down again, where I sort of run the grinder across there to cut a couple of welds. So we'll weld all that back up, weld all the holes up. Hello Skinny. Yeah, so I'll weld all these up, all the holes up, before I put this back on, and then it's going to be easier to weld what's left of, after drilling all these spot welds up. Man, there was just some places it was just spot weld after spot weld after spot weld, right beside each other. So man, drilled a lot of holes in here, broke quite a lot of drill bits too, trying to get some of them. So at least it's not real rotten in there. There was I took some videos, and what I'll do is I will put them onto there before this. I actually poked the phone up in here and had a good look around the best I could. Like parts of it I couldn't see because the phone just it just couldn't quite get in there, like with the panel in the road. you couldn't quite see over, but you could see a lot of, there was just a lot of stuff built up in here, and especially on that side, leaves, and you can see it was quite a lot of surface sort of rust and scale. So it's a shame to have to take it off, but it's probably a bit of a blessing, as to get in here, get this fixed, and then I'm not having to worry about it rust out again. Like it might have been a while before it went, but it was gonna go if I'd left it. Probably if they actually probably painted properly in here before they put these two skins together, they probably wouldn't have, rusted out the same, because the water comes back through out here through a drain hole. So there's quite a bit of fall. So really, it shouldn't. And most of the stuff should wash out, but when it's just left, and there's just leaves and stuff in there, everything sits and rots. So we're not looking too bad. So hopefully I can get these pieces to replace them. So I'll go do a bit of research on the old interweb and see what we can get. If not, I'll have to do some other avenue, maybe even make up some rings or something like that. I don't know. We'll sort something out. But yeah, we need to do something with these. So it's going to be pretty tricky trying to get that welded and get that waterproof the way they are. It's going to be pretty thin. So if we can put some new fresh metal in there and seal it up, I think we'll be pretty good. So yeah, I think that'll be enough for today. It took bloody all day to get that off. By the time we drilled all the holes and just kept going around and trying to get it, all the welds broken, and I think you got them all, and then you get to drill another 2 or 3 out in funny little spots where you couldn't find them, and because some of them are sort of quite faint and you couldn't really see the dimple, but we got there in the end, so that's the main thing. So it's another job to do, but probably another job worth doing. So we'll get back to you, and we'll carry on again.